I missed the scorching wind of Andalusia, how it pours sunlight onto your face, toying with eyelashes, flattening dry sand against cheeks, and milling around hair. I missed the smell of the valley and that ripening softness of muscat fluff glistening in the afternoon breeze. From up here, I can see the house where I grew up. I see white chapels tucked into grape orchards, like pawns scattered on a chessboard. I can see patches of asphalt on El Jardinero Road, hailing from the old town through dappled rocks, then waning behind the horizon with erratic headlights of beat-up trucks cruising along. One of the pit stops along El Jardinero, where truck drivers stop to relieve themselves, marks the starting point to this wavy trail, all covered in blotches of spindly grass stalks and flaxen sand. The trail is barely noticeable at first. Truth is, no one even cares to notice it. Why would a truckers taking a blitz leak care to check on a mucky trail leading to God knows where? But I do. This is how I got up here, to the top of this hill, where I am standing now. I've climbed all the way up here, so I can finally end it all these years of vagrancy and fugue, exile and fear. This is where it's all going to come to an end. But for now, I am enjoying the view of the valley unfolding below. I am sipping the air of what could be my final memories. He will show up soon. He always does. Like a shadow, he's been following me right on my footsteps, always there, behind me. And there he is. His limping figure appears behind the sharp bend off El Jardinito. He looks up, and he sees me, then stops for a moment to catch his breath and leans on his cane, as if assessing the remaining trajectory for this final stretch, then resumes his walk. Or should I say, resumes his agonizing trudging. Years of endless chase took a toll on his body. No wonder. How long has he been chasing me? 10, 20, 30 years. He is slow, methodically slow. But for once, I will not run. I will wait, right here, behind this rock. I will finally come face to face with him. This sharp Swiss knife blade I am holding in my hand will soon lance right through his neck bone. Yes, that's what I am going to do. This ends here, at the dead end of this sandy trail atop the hill overlooking the valley with its white chapels and muscat orchards. Funny. After all these years, I still don't know the real name of my chaser. I always called him what Master Borges called him, he who wanders. He who wanders, listen, I will kill you. Asterisk, 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 Borges. The Borges. I idolized him when I was in college. Many did, but I was different. It was 1961. I was an average, lazy learner at the Universidad Laboral de Córdoba, floating around from one semester to another with barely passable grades. I had very few friends and almost no interests. One can say that I had an early form of an identity crisis. Besides chugging anisado, my only other passion was literature, Latin American literature. Borges and Neruda were at the forefront. One could only imagine my excitement when I saw a pamphlet hanging on the wall of the literature faculty. Spaces were limited, but who cared? It was the man himself, Jorge Luis Borges, coming to give us a lecture, followed by an open panel of questions. Like a maniac, I rushed to the auditorium hours before the lecture. I was the first in line, and when the doors opened, I got the front row seat. The auditorium was packed with drooling chins of young self-proclaimed prodigies awaiting the arrival of the Great One. And there he was, the blind lord of literature, walking upright onto the stage with a cane, and his loyal assistant right by his side. Standing ovation. He nodded and made a "thank you, please be seated" gesture. Then he began. The lecture was dedicated to Spanish writers. I cannot distinctly recall if it was Cervantes or De Vega. It truly made no difference. Somehow I managed to sit through his entire lecture, which lasted over 3 hours, and remember nothing. He talked slowly and methodically, pouring honey into our ears like Segovia's guitar, with his absent eyesight affixed on the ceiling. And then it happened. Something that caught me completely off guard. Before closing the day, Borges was about to take questions from the audience. Of course, I raised my hand, and so did about hundreds of other students. One of Borges' assistants whispered something into his ear, which made him smile. "It is an honor for me to be in front of an audience of young people, but our time is not infinite," he said with blind eyes still pinned on the far corner of the hall. "For that reason, I will randomly pick questions from 5 of you.